Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.
Welcome to the scenic Machakos region. This is the Great Debaters Contest, and I'm your host, Austin Nyambo.
And I am Mariam Bashar. Today, Matungulu girls goes versus Machakos girls in what proves to be an epic battle. And they're debating on whether encroachment of water catchment areas is the leading cause of water scarcity in the world. We'll let them take the stage now. Proposer number 1, you have 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen present in the audience, my name is Gladys Mumbi from Matungulu Girls, and I'm here to firmly propose the motion that states encroachment in water catchment areas is the leading cause to water scarcity in the world. And many of us, I know we have the question ringing in our mind, what is encroachment? Encroachment refers to invading an area and interfering with the ecosystem. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you one thing. Encroachment does not mean only the human perception of it interfering with the ecosystem. It can also be biological, it can also be environmental. When I speak of water scarcity, what comes into your mind? The scarcity of water means inadequate supply of water to the people who are living around the region. And when I speak about a catchment area, this can either be a lake, ladies and gentlemen. It is any point that we have the water collecting that can be used by the people of the population. And before, ladies and gentlemen, I begin my point, I would like to tell all of us that you cannot know where you're coming unless you know where you're going. And I'm going to start my point by saying that all of us, I'm going to take you regionally, locally, and internationally. When we look at a Kenyan scenario, for example, the Mau Ranges, all of us know the scarcity of water was as a result of deforestation. And what does this mean? It means that the Mau Ranges, being the tower where water is supplied, is the main collection point of water. And what I'm saying is that the collection of water as it is in the Mau Ranges, has been interfered by the practices of deforestation. People have settled in our highlands, and that is why you are hearing of the saga of the Nairobi water rationing. As I told you earlier, I'm going now to move African. In Africa, we have a city known as Gabon. In Gabon, what they're going to do in alienation to the deforestation is that they cut the trees for exportation of the trees. And when they do this, they leave the land bare. And what is supposed to happen after that? We are going to have the water being scarce, and it cannot be used by the people. And as I promised you, audience, I'm going to take you now further internationally. All of us love USA. USA, we have Canada. In Canada, what do we have related to encroachment areas in the world? In Canada, what they do, they cut down the trees and they use it for timber. And the timber that they're going to use, remember, the rainfall, according to the hydrological cycle, it cannot take place. Good heavens, when will we realize that encroachment is the only reason as to why we are having water shortage in the world? As I'm standing right here in front of you, I'm full of thirst because I have not taken enough water. So ladies and gentlemen, let us be intellectual people who fully understand that encroachment is the only reason as to why we are having water shortage in the world. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I rest my case.
Opposition will hear your introduction. You have 3 minutes.
Kerendete, Machakos Girls High School. I strongly oppose the motion that states that encroachment in water catchment areas is the leading cause to water scarcity in the world. My very well-learned opponent talked about deforestation. And let me tell you, increase in population, the population increases, then what happens? The people go to the urban areas for employment. They find that there is unemployment. So what does this young man do or young lady? They go to the forest, they cut down the trees so that they are able to look for timber and start their own carpentry workshop. So what led to the other? Increase in population led to encroachment, global warming. This is a rise in temperature, and when there's a rise in temperature, we find that there's going to be drought, which is going to cause water scarcity. This means that, for instance, the global warming is supposed to account for about 20% of the global increase of water scarcity in this century. You are going to ask me, where does the 80% go? The 80% goes to the other causes, of course. Nearly 3 billion people are facing water scarcity in the world. And this is approved by Wikipedia. Let us open our eyes and see that, yes, there is encroachment, but one thing leads to the other. Increase in population, global warming, pollution, overuse of water leads to encroachment. So who is the bigger master here? Increase in population and all the others, because encroachment is as a result. Thank you.
Thank you. We're ready for cross-examinations. Proposition, you have 3 minutes.
As we all know, Kenya, among many other countries in the world, is a water-scarce country. It has renewable water, which is in capital 647 centimeters cubed, which has been reported by the UNDP in 2006. I am Sharon Tabu Busuru, here to propose the motion that encroachment in water catchment areas is the leading cause to water scarcity in the country and in the world. We have deforestation, as my fellow member had said earlier. Due to deforestation, where people cut down trees in order to occupy the land, this leads down to inadequate rainfall in the place. We also have, in more than half of the country, major rivers are being polluted and depleted. These major rivers are being depleted and polluted due to industrial centers, which are along the rivers, in order to have water to instate the industrial centers for manufacture of their products. Farmers living near water catchment areas, such as lakes or rivers, are degrading the water resources. This degradation of water resources is due to cultivation of crops, such as sugarcane and planting of eucalyptus tree, which tends to drain a lot of water. This has led to the decrease in water availability in the world. Cases that have occurred, such as our Kainji Dam, and we have in industrial centers, such as Karachi, which is situated in Kuwait, which is one of the leading producers in petroleum. They have harnessed a lot of water from the sea, which have been used by the population for domestic uses. This harnessing of the sea has caused the degradation of water resources. I would also like to say that population explosion in the country, whereby increase in population, has forced the people to move into places so that they can occupy them, such as the rivers and the lakes, in order to get land for use and cultivation, has led to the degradation of water use, as the normal person tends to consume 50 liters of water per day. We also have the mining centers and industrial centers, such as Cochin, which is situated in Pakistania, which has drained the waters from the Mediterranean Sea to use for the production of the materials and also to cool their machines, therefore degrading the domestic users in the place.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes for your cross-examination.
Since I was a kid, I used to be told that water is life, and we don't take chances when it comes to life. So when you tell me that the first proposer said encroachment is the only source, she used the word only. Let me tell you, if she says the word only, then when the word we clarify pollution, where do we clarify overuse of water? According to the Wikipedia Google account, it clearly states that overpopulation is the leading cause. We are not dealing with assumptions over here. We want facts. This is life. Water is life. We don't take risks when it comes to life. And both you and I know that. On to my first point. According to Wikipedia, it clearly says that the United States of America, each individual uses approximately 200 to 600 liters per day for just domestic uses. When the only needed water that's needed, it's 20 liters. And I want to correct that. It ain't 50 liters. It's 20 liters. So when we overuse water, where do we expect to find water? It ain't raining so far. As you can see that the water has decreased, we want water that it's proven. We want to see that we are getting the water back that we are using. In Malaysia, it was proven that encroachment helps to get water. When those people interfered with the rivers, they divert the rivers into places where there was water scarcity. If that river had stayed there, the water will still be adamant. We don't need it to be there. We want it so that you can use it for purposes. We need it so that you can drink it and all the other purposes. According to the World Bank, it clearly states that according to this rate that water is being overused, by the Vision 2050, 2/3 of the water right now will be gone. And where will it have gone to? It will be according to the uses, not due to encroachment. This is due to overpopulation. This due to overuse is due to deforestation. And it's also due to what? Due to everything that you and I do, not encroachment. When you say that encroachment has led to that scarcity in water as the leading, can you prove it? No, but I come here with facts to prove it so clearly that it's not water encroachment that's leading to that. It's overuse, it's overpopulation. Let's not undermine the fact that you can see. Let us dwell on what everyone can clearly see that. And by that, we'll save ourselves, we'll save our future generation. Because like someone once said, you can't have a grandchild if you don't save your daughter right now. It's also saying here that in Turkana, they don't lack water because there's no river over there. It's because of distance. They can't cover that distance. There's poor infrastructure. They can't access that water because of poor infrastructure, and that will lead to water scarcity. They can't survive without water. Someone once said that you can survive without love, but you can't survive without water. I rest my case.
Thank you very much to the audience. The proposers have been asked, even with evacuation of water catchment areas, we still face water scarcity. So is that really the issue? And the opposition have been asked to give examples of overpopulated countries that have faced water scarcity. We'll have them respond. Third proposer, you have 3 minutes.
Straight out of Matungulu, girls, I am Julie Mutinda. Strongly, no, I will be underestimating it. Confidently proposing this motion that states that encroachment in water catchment areas is the leading cause to water scarcity in the world. I will first start by answering the question that was posed to us. You talked of people invading in Mau. Let me remind you of the previous government. The Prime Minister was actually against people invading these places. Of course, they came out of these places. But it didn't mean that encroachment was still not going on. Do you know why? Because companies are still getting water and in excess from this water catchment area. The opposers, on the few things that they thought actually were not point. One, pollution. Pollution in these water catchment areas is actually brought about by encroachment. Did you by any chance understand our meaning of encroachment? Again, you spoke of infrastructure, that there being poor infrastructure and therefore leading to less supply of this water. Need I remind you, by the way, that there is excess supply of water. This excess supply of water is therefore brought about by these companies supplying water. They are invading in this water catchment area. You also spoke of we were not factual about the 50 liters of water, the approximate 50 liters of water being used. Well, all this information came from research done by Peter Musuva in his thesis of Kenyatta University that actually he got a master's degree out of this. Well, it was actually you who were not factual. Tell us where this information about the 20 liters came from. From there, I will confidently then move to my points. Energy is a trending issue worldwide. Let us start with local issues. For instance, our country. It has set in measures to solve the issue by establishing power stations near water catchment areas. For instance, in Athi River, and to be precise, the Seven Forks scheme. This has therefore led to usage of a lot of water, leading to water scarcity in Kenya and in Nairobi, to be precise. Let me give you another example of Ethiopia. It is a current issue now that they want to come up with the Grand Renaissance Dam. This Grand Renaissance Dam is meant to come up with sufficient HEP to supply sufficient HEP in the country. But the neighboring
the neighboring countries actually sharing the same water catchment areas are against it. Why? Encroachment.
Opposition, you have 3 minutes to respond.
Evelyn Mukonyo from the Machakos Girls High School, and I'm here to oppose the motion that encroachment of water catchment areas is the leading cause to water scarcity in the world. First, I would like to start by answering a question that has been posed. Now, let's go to China. China, for example. China uses 69% of their water in industries. Now, the amount of water left for the citizens there is 31%. Now, do you want to tell me that 31% will be enough for their users? Now, on to my first point. Drought. According to the United Press International, drought in the Middle East is the main threat to water supply in the Middle East. Now, I want you to take an example at Turkana. Turkana is facing water shortage, and most of the time there is drought. Now, this drought causes water bodies to dry up, and this leads to scarcity of water. Next, industrialization. Now, the main problem that is facing our country, for example, Kenya, is unemployment. Now, when there is unemployment, the government undertakes missions to provide employment for its citizens. So this leads to the government in establishing industries in these water catchment areas. Now, when these industries are established to give people job opportunities, the water sources are exploited. They end up being polluted because these industries use this water in these areas maybe to wash their raw materials. They can also use this water to cool their machines. Agriculture. People encroach water catchment areas to do agriculture. Now, when these people, what does agriculture entail? Agriculture entails, we have agroforestry, whereby these people move into these areas to grow plants and trees at the same time. Trees attract rainfall, and this increases water in areas. I'd like to speak on something that my learned colleague on the proposing side has said. She has talked about the Seven Forks dams, and we all know that the Seven Forks dams, this area has been encroached. Now, the Seven Forks dams are drying up, and they are drying up due to evaporation, and this is leading to scarcity of water. I rest my case.
We'll now hear final statements, beginning with the proposing team. You have a minute.
She is actually contradicting herself. Yes, this construction of the Seven Forks, it is encroachment and it is leading to scarcity of water. Again, she has spoken about moving these industries to water catchment areas. It is also encroachment. Using this water to wash their raw materials, one, it is polluting water. Two, it is leading to scarcity of water. I am actually flattered by the looks on your faces. It actually proves to me that we are on board, and I want to assure you that actually we are on the right track. Now, we can confidently speak of the NEMA, the National Environmental Management Organization. Well, it is one of the government organizations leading to environmental management, and actually water has actually been a big problem. We are helping the NEMA to actually realize that it is this encroachment of water catchment areas that is bringing this problem of scarcity of water. And my sisters on the opposing side have actually helped me a big time deal. Thank you very much. I rest our case.
Opposition, you have 1 minute.
Well. I'll take the example of a tree. Cut the tree on a stem and it will then sprout again. Take the same tree and dig it out. it will never ever exist again. Encroachment is after all this has been summed up. Let's look at the roots of this tree. The roots are increase in population. The roots are population. The roots are pollution. The roots are distance. And by the way, to tell you something about distance, you said something about deserts. We want to clarify that point. It is, yes, you're in a desert and you're going to be looking for somewhere you can find water. You're going to be walking for long distances to get that same water. So distance is still a cause of water scarcity. Ladies and gentlemen, if you cannot beat them, join them, Machakos Girls High School.
Matungulu girls. Gladys, good definition of terms. You began as well, and you made us understand the context from which you're arguing from. That is powerful. Then you also came out as a very convicted speaker, and you speak with a passion, and you're able to defend your position very well. Sharon, use other techniques to capture the attention of the audience, but once you got started, you were good to go. But then look for techniques of starting off your argument, because that is what captures the audience, and that is also what brings out your passion. And then good work, and then also work on your voice projection. At one point, I felt like you're swallowing some words, so try to project them. And then you're very good, you're very coherent. Then you also concluded in a way that the bell, I think, made you just think you should stop. So in future, again, whether the bell goes or not, just complete your argument. Otherwise, you are a composed speaker. Julie, you are a very powerful speaker, and you spoke with a lot of conviction. Otherwise, it was good work for Matungulu, powerful speakers.
Machakos. Karen, it's good to see you, and it's a very good start for your team. I think you're very strong, especially towards the end. I think you have a lot of fans here. I think towards the end, we saw a very powerful Karen really coming in to at least ensure your team is up and about. So what you need to realize is that as the first speaker, you want to define the motion. You did not do that, so that was also checked on by the judges. Good submissions, though, on giving us the alternatives, the overpopulation, global warming, and the likes. So that was a good start for your team. Monica, good cross-examination for you as a team member. That was good role-playing and good submissions as well. Evelyn, the same thing as well, very good speaker. However, we could tell that you almost panicked towards the end, and even how you sat. You know, we check on all those things. You were so shocked. You were wondering whether you did it. Yes, you did it. Yes, we noticed that. But however, you want to be assured of yourself even when you're on stage. So just work on your style and presentation so that you can have that coherency and flow.
Thank you. Very slim margin here. Matungulu girls versus Machakos girls. Slim difference, 1 mark. Machakos girls, you have 71%. Please give them a warm round of applause. Your opponents, Matungulu girls, you have 72%, making you the winners.
Thank you. Congratulations to the two teams on stage. We'd also like to thank our studio audience and urge your viewers to keep watching KBC Channel 1. Follow us on social media at Great Debaters EA. I've been your host, Austin Nyambok.
I'm Mariam Bishar. Thank you for watching.
The Great Debaters Contest is powered by Blaze, by Safaricom, the Youth Network.